can't be in class this week, so this is going to be my presentation to you on my interview. I decided to interview the school counselor at Neptune Middle School. His name is William Duma. He's been a counselor for only 2 years, so the profession is very new to him. He started out in sales, actually, so similar to most of us in class. But he was in sales for a lot longer. It was like 10 years, and finally it was at the point where he wanted a life change. So his wife persuaded him to actually come to Monmouth, and he got his degree in the Master's in School Counseling, like a couple of us in the class. So during the interview, I asked him about how much he gets paid and how much the starting salary is, how many hours he works a week, and thank God he said the starting salary is a little bit higher than teachers, and he doesn't work as much as a lot of us would expect. He said it's between like 45 to 55 hours a week, but obviously it varies depending on what's going on at the time. And I know I talked to him about the school culture too, in at least the middle school, and he does say obviously it varies by district and by school, but even within the school, he said that it varies by from hallway to hallway or classroom to classroom, obviously with different teaching styles, and obviously for us, everyone's going to have their own counseling style as well. That can make things change up a little bit. And then I also talked to him about, what can we expect? What's going to be a typical workday for us? He says it's very busy, like, again, we've talked about in class. We're going to be constantly walking around the school. You're going to be talking to parents and teachers, going through grades, catching up with students and seeing how their life is going, helping them doing the schedule. And, of course, I wanted to know what he really enjoyed about working in a middle school. I know I've been debating on whether I want to do a middle school or a high school, and obviously it'll come down to my internships, but he said the worst part about the middle school is probably the massive amount of paperwork, which we're going to get anywhere, but he's also the HIB specialist, and that is, I believe it's the harassment, intimidation, and bullying specialist. So he's in charge of preventing bullying and addressing issues where there is harassment and bullying within the school and between children. But he did say the thing that he enjoys most about his job is by far interacting with the kids. He said it's a great feeling too when the kids come up to you and they've actually made a life change for themselves, or they've improved some grades and they're just so excited to come see you, and they'll show you their A that they got on the test and just be so excited. And he said that's really what makes his job worthwhile, is seeing these smiles on these kids' faces and seeing a problem get solved for them and make their lives just a little bit easier. But he did also give me some words of advice, which would be to not get our hopes up when we're confronted with some problems. We're not going to be able to solve everything that comes into our office, so just don't get your hopes up. Just do your best and try and connect with the kids and build that relationship that they feel safe coming and talking to you and bringing their problems to you, because that really is one of the first steps, is them actually having the courage to come to you and discuss their issues, or just discuss why their day was so horrible and why it seems like the world is ending. But he also said we have to get used to eating a lot of granola bars, because there's not going to be a lot of time to go and enjoy your lunch, because you will be walking around and you're always going to be doing paperwork or getting involved in something. And then the last thing that he said was to make sure that in your internships, don't narrow it down. Be very broad. Go to different school districts. Do different grades. If you're a student affairs student, maybe look at a couple different colleges to work with. The culture is going to be different at each one of them. And then also for the school counseling students, he said to definitely, when the school counselors are making the master schedule, ask your supervisor to go with them and actually see what they do and how their programming works for how to do the schedule. It'll make our lives a lot easier come time when we actually enter the field, and we'll have just a little bit of knowledge under our belt. Um, that's basically the best things that I got out of it. I know the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is building that lasting relationship with the kids. And I hope that we can all do that and just embrace our counseling style and help the kids to feel comfortable coming into the counseling setting. And that's it. I will see you guys in a week. Bye.